Before this news clip, let's go back to Washington, D.C. in the year 2020 and catch up on the case of Karon Hylton-Brown.
Officers violated a city policy banning police from pursuing people for all but the most serious crimes. Officers say they were trying to stop Hylton for riding a moped on the sidewalk without a helmet.
We have very clear policies about no chasing. Should be obvious by now. Why? Because chases can be dangerous.
This kid didn't deserve this.
The mayor would only name the driver of the police cruiser, Officer Terence Sutton. Friends of Hylton say he has known him for years.
The whole day they was harassing that man. They had no reason to do that.
But by the way, this is the first time that a D.C. police officer has been convicted of murder.
You ever get the feeling that everything in America is completely fucked up?
In the district tonight, justice for Karon Hylton-Brown. 2 D.C. police officers found guilty in the death of the 20-year-old.
Hylton-Brown died during a police pursuit. This was back in 2020 while he was riding a moped at the time.
It took a jury several days to come up with the verdict. Jacqueline Matter at the federal courthouse with those details. She's standing by live right now. Jacqueline.
Yeah, Jim, Angie, those 2 officers are home tonight awaiting sentencing after a judge deemed that they were not a threat to the community or a flight risk. Nonetheless, this was an unprecedented verdict that took the jury 5 days to reach.
I think it's the biggest civil rights case in the United States today, because nobody has ever convicted a police officer who didn't even hit the car that caused the death.
It feels good! Are you surprised? I'm very surprised.
More than 2 years after 2 D.C. police officers chased Hylton-Brown through the streets of D.C., Officer Terence Sutton and Lieutenant Andrew Zabavsky have been found guilty on all charges related to his death.
I didn't think that this day would come as far as them getting charged with the crimes that they committed.
The 20-year-old father was stopped for riding a moped on the sidewalk without a helmet. The chase that followed lasted more than 3 minutes and ended when Hylton-Brown rode into oncoming traffic, where he was hit by a car, suffered severe head trauma, and died days later. The trial for the 2 officers lasted more than a month, and the jury found Sutton of the most serious charge.
The law was dead on. You know, don't get me wrong. There was this risk. He knew of the risk, and he broke the law to take the risk. And there was a death that resulted, and consequently, he's being charged with second-degree murder.
Sutton and his supervisor, Zabavsky, were found guilty of conspiracy and obstruction of justice for covering up what happened. Sutton faces up to 40 years in prison, while Zabavsky could be behind bars for at least 20. As for a fair sentencing, activists who attended the trial say,
Life, I say 20 years.
And I hope the prosecutors do this for all of the cops so they can stop doing this and showing up like they judge, jury, and God.
And for Hylton-Brown's girlfriend and the mother of his child,
I don't want her to ever think her dad was a bad person. Her dad loved her a lot. The time that he had with her.
Now, people who were inside of the courtroom tell us that Hylton-Brown's mom was arrested. She apparently assaulted a U.S. Marshal while she was there as the judge was reading the verdict and allowing those 2 cops to be released. A sentencing date has not yet been set for them. But by the way, this is the first time that a D.C. police officer has been convicted of murder. Back to you.